Hi there. Thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, we're going to answer the question, where does the vertex formula come from? Now, if you are looking at a quadratic, you have A, B, and C if it's in standard form, and the vertex formula will allow us to take some of those values, namely the A and the B, plug them into x is equal to the opposite of b over 2a, and that's going to give us the x coordinate of the vertex, and then we can plug that into the function to find the y coordinate. The way we're going to see where it comes from is by completing the square, but we're only going to begin the process of completing the square. We don't have to do the whole thing. When we complete the square, we prefer to have a leading coefficient of 1. So the first thing I'm going to do here is factor the a out. And when I factor the a out, I am left with this quadratic here. This is the quadratic where we are going to complete the square. We now have kind of a new b value. And if you recall the process for completing the square, we take that value and we divide it by 2, which gives us b over 2a. Now that's going to look familiar because that's the piece of the formula we want there. Now, if we were completing the square all the way, we would take this, we would square it, and then we would add it and subtract it to keep the equation balanced and all of that. But we're not going to need to do the whole thing. What we're going to do here is actually do the piece of it that is the completing the square. And that we use this saved value, and that goes in the parentheses. And then this is the rest of the problem out there. We're not even concerned about that. If you recall from your study of quadratics, this number here gives us the left and right transformations. It slides the graph left and right, meaning it's going to slide the vertex left and right. So that number there tells us how far left or how far right the vertex has slid. Now recall that the left-right shifts are opposite what we expect. So if you see a positive, it went to the left, meaning it went in the negative direction. If you see a negative, it means it went right, which means it went in the positive direction. So we need to take this number here and actually flip the sign on it in order to find the location of the vertex. Hence, it is the opposite of b over 2a. And we use completing the square and transformations to get there. Now, if you wanted to finish the completing the square process, you could actually also figure out the vertical shift and get the y coordinate for the vertex, but typically that is not the most straightforward way to do it. Hope this video answered that question for you. Where does this formula come from?